The Jets made a flurry of roster moves, plus Aaron Rodgers is staying as QB1. It's time for Boy Green Daily right now.
I'm going to lose my gas-darned bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking wrong!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Liston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Abby.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your friggin' podcast, baby. We got a full article in the YouTube description down below, and the flurry of roster moves the Jets made yesterday, which we will talk about. Plus, Aaron Rodgers will remain as QB1, according to Jeff Holbrook, not only for this week, but the rest of the season. He is pot committed to Aaron Rodgers, which, again, we also talked about on the show yesterday, but we didn't have that information immediately present. And the flurry of roster moves is this. Kene Nguanu. He has been signed to the 53-man roster. We won't get Spencer Schrader this time, which is what happened last time. Let me explain the roster gymnastics that exist in the NFL. On a week-to-week basis, teams are allowed to elevate players from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. It's a temporary move, which works for a game, and then after the game, the player reverts back to the practice squad. For instance, Kene Nguanu. He has been on the Jets practice squad since September. The Jets chose to elevate him specifically for this game against Seattle, so he was a part of the 53-man roster temporarily for the Seahawks game, and after the game, he was supposed to revert back down to the practice squad. Last time the Jets did that with Spencer Schrader, their starting kicker. They didn't have a kicker on the actual roster. They had two kickers on the practice squad. They elevated Spencer Schrader. They did not bring him back to the 53-man roster as a permanent move, and the Chiefs went, oh, yeah, we'll take that, thank you very much, and pluck that fruit from the tree. And then when the Jets later in the week said, okay, we'll elevate you again, he's like, screw you, pal. The Chiefs just offered me a spot on their 53-man roster. And the Jets like, whoa, we'll offer you a spot on the 53-man roster. And he's like, screw you. And he left. So the Jets were playing some cutesiness with the roster gymnastics, and it failed. This time around, they said, whoa. Kene, I know we brought you up temporarily. We'd like to make you a permanent member of this roster. Kene agreed. Booyah. Nguanu, now a lead kick return man for the New York Jets. But it came at a casualty. Israel Abanikanda, a.k.a. Izzy to the Hizzy, former Pittsburgh product, former fifth-round draft choice. Just last season, in 2023, he has been cut. Now, there is some, belief from ESPN's Rich Cimini that basically we're going to have a swap-a-rooney here. So Kene is now on the 53-man roster. Izzy is subject to waivers, which means the other 31 teams in the NFL will have a chance to claim Izzy off of waivers. And if they claim him, he must be added to their 53-man roster. Then they would have to cut somebody. If he clears waivers, no one claims him. He will become an unrestricted free agent, and then he will have the choice. If the Jets offer him a spot back on the practice squad, he could accept that or potentially go somewhere else. So Izzy is gone. And we'll see if he comes back potentially after clearing waivers. Molon says, are we really talking about Izzy? We are talking about Izzy. This is a Jets show, and that was a Jets transaction. And it really speaks to a larger point here, Molon. And I heard it on Badlands. Shout out to Connor Rodgers, who's on the SNY desk for Jets postgame. And he talked about a story that Willie Colon, also a former Jet, said on the show. And he said that the Jets draft players. This was a story that Willie Colon apparently said on the SNY desk that Connor Rodgers retold on Badlands. And Willie Colon said the Jets draft players from anywhere, Pittsburgh, Alabama, doesn't matter. And they come with an instruction manual. And the Jets say on how to use that player. And the Jets go, we'll figure it out. And they throw the instruction manual away and they go to town on the players that they draft. Willie says that's a problem that happens with the Jets. And when he said that, I've just been thinking about it. I've just been thinking about it a lot. You think about Izzy to the Hizzy, this explosive, dynamic player, Denzel Mims, I mean, go down the list. Now, Denzel Mims has proven to be nothing, and he's like fallen out of the league. But like the Jets say, hey, Denzel, I know what you think you could do at this position, but do you know all the positions? Like, it's like I am a radio host for my day job. If they came to me and I came to the station, they said, "Hey, Paul, can you do construction?" I'm like, well, no. And they're like, "Well, fine. Sorry, you can't start on the radio show today. You don't know how to do construction." Like, you would think that a player that you draft has a very special set of skills, and you would employ them with the special set of skills they have in a specific role. But the Jets haven't done that. For instance, Malachi Corley. He's another great example. Jets draft him. Jets trade up to draft him. They were trying to trade up to the middle of the second round. That's how excited, apparently, the Jets were to get Malachi Corley. And this year it's been bupkis. And you're like, didn't they have a plan when they drafted him? Didn't they say, hey, here's how we plan on using this guy? And then they just didn't. Like, he had a fade route in the Seahawks game. He's like 5'4". How tall is Malachi Corley? Let me not speak at a turn here. Yeah, Malachi Corley is 5'11". Like, you're throwing a fade route to a 5'11" guy? Where's all the jet sweeps? Where's the creativity of getting him involved? Goes back to that Willie Colon quote of like, the Jets have players that have a instruction manual on how to use them, and the Jets just don't use it. Malachi Corley, Izzy, Denzel Mims. I mean, go through the list of recent Jets draft history, and I have their Jets draft history in front of me here. You start going through the guys like Malachi Corley. Bizarre. Braylon Allen, where they didn't use him in the beginning of the season in short yardage situations. That seems odd. Very bizarre. Izzy would be a guy on that list. Sure. Absolutely. I mean, this one was weird. Garrett Wilson didn't even start his first game in the NFL. He was a backup to start. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, yeah, you start going through all these mid-round picks. We mentioned Denzel Mims already. Now, some players you just draft and they stink, and that is what it is. But the usage on some of these players have just been absolutely bizarre, whether it's offense, defense, or what have you. I mean, I'm going down a Jets draft rabbit hole. Let me get out of there and save myself. But you get the point. Like, what the hell? What are the Jets doing there? So Izzy is gone. Kane in, which, again, I'm glad the Jets did it. That was the right move to make, but I just don't know why we waited until December when we're already out of it to be utilizing this guy. Seems odd. It's not like the kick return game has not been a problem all year. We haven't had a lot of juice. We've had pops every once in a while. Xavier Gibson has done something. Oh, well, there's a 40-yard return or something. But, like, for the most part, it's been pretty lackluster. Allen here. I hope Izzy gets claimed and shows something somewhere else. If he doesn't, I tell the Jets to kick rocks and move on. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If I'm Izzy, I've just been cut. I clear waivers. And the Jets say, hey, we got a spot on the practice squad for you. I imagine he's going to have – I don't think he gets claimed. I could be wrong. Maybe there's running back injuries, I'm not thinking of. But even if he doesn't get claimed like I think there's going to be a bunch of people who say, yeah, we'll give you a spot on every team has a 16-man practice squad. You're telling me Izzy can't get one of those spots somewhere else in the league? Like, I think Izzy would be like, screw this Jets team. Let me go somewhere else that's got either a chance at the playoffs or something like that. Yeah, that's what, and a fresh start, because obviously the Jets don't have a vision and there's going to be a brand new coaching staff. So if I'm Izzy and I clear waivers, I'm probably picking somewhere else, not named the Jets, if I'm being candid. Absolutely. For sure. That's how I feel about him. By the way, let's get into some Aaron Rodgers action. Let's get into some Aaron Rodgers, who's sticking as QB1. We have a few quotes here. From interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich. We'll walk through all of it. So Jeff Ulbrich was asked, does he plan on making a quarterback change? He said, I do not. And, well, let's go back to immediately after the game. They said, hey, would you consider a quarterback change? He said, not as of today, which was like, he didn't completely close the door. He kind of left it ajar, like, are we about to get a quarterback change? And then the next day, he says, quote, no, he's our quarterback. When asked if he's the guy for the rest of the season, is this a week-to-week thing? And, when you look at some of Rodgers' stats, he completed 54% of his passes, had a 4.7 passing yards per attempt. That's really bad for those who don't know some of those deeper numbers. Okay. And he had some of those numbers, and it's his third straight game with under 200 yards passing. He's had 5 games this season of under 200 yards passing. And when Ulbrich was asked about, the stats kind of say that he's kind of struggling here, Jeff Ulbrich said, well, there's injuries. That's a factor. But here was another quote from Ulbrich. Quote, "We have great belief in Aaron. We really do. We think he gives us the best opportunity to win. After assessing yesterday's game, I thought there were moments in the first half where you saw Aaron Rodgers. I thought there were moments even in the second half that you saw Aaron Rodgers." Quick aside, pause time. What the hell does that mean? What do you mean you saw Aaron Rodgers? Anywho, back to the quote. "And then there were moments that he didn't play to his standard. He'd tell you the same. We believe that he gives us the best opportunity to win. So, he's our quarterback." And like I said, he pointed at injuries when talking about some of the statistical struggles of Rodgers so far this season. And then when media members, seemingly befuddled, said, "Yeah, you say that you see Aaron Rodgers on tape, but all this other stuff says otherwise. Why are you sticking with him?" Quote, "I've seen enough evidence on tape of him still being capable of playing at a high level for us." End quote. And there you go. So Aaron Rodgers stays as the quarterback. I explained yesterday why I would advocate for a quarterback change for the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers is missing wide open people, man. You can't win football games in the NFL when your guy, Aaron Rodgers, is consistently throwing for under 200 passing yards. It's not as if the Jets are a running team and they're throwing it 9 times. The Jets, Aaron Rodgers, let's pull up those stats on attempts per game for old Aaron Rodgers. From my recollection, Aaron Rodgers is throwing it a lot. And he's throwing it a lot, and he's still not getting the numbers. That's concerning. That's concerning for old A-Rod, who, again, the overall numbers, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks. That sounds great in theory, but when you do a deeper dive into the numbers, it's not as sexy as it appears. Let's go the old game log here for Rodgers. So here are his attempts. 39 passes, 29, 35, 32, 28, 39, 35, 54, 42, 35, 30, 21. Folks, he is attempting a lot of passes. A lot of passes. He is, out of the, 3-9, so 12 games so far this season, he has thrown under 30 passes in a game, a measly 3 times. The other ones have all been 30-plus attempts, which means Aaron is throwing it a lot, and he's not getting the numbers. He is getting some volume scoring. He's that guy who scored 50. You're like, oh, wow, nice. But he took 80 shots. You're like, oh, well, that's what's happening with Aaron Rodgers. So I would advocate for a quarterback change. I would advocate for it. But the Jets are not going to do it. They're going to ride out Aaron Rodgers all the way to the end. And I get it. And I said this before. FL Film 98 called him the checkdown king. That's appropriate. And even, we didn't talk about this on the postgame show or yesterday on the show, but even when he took a shot at the beginning of the game, which is something I've advocated, hey, man, why not right off the get-go, you set the tone. Aaron Rodgers threw a deep one to Garrett Wilson. He missed him. Garrett was open. That could have been a 60, 70-yard play. He throws it deep, and Garrett's running, and he has to slow down. He has to, and that gets knocked away. Aaron Rodgers missed him. He missed him on the deep bomb at the beginning of the game, missed him wide open in the end zone. Again, 54% completion percent. The Seahawks game, 1 out of every 2 passes is getting dirted. And think about all the inaccuracies, right? And this is what's really frustrating. But now that we're on this Aaron Rodgers rant, every game and almost every drive, Aaron Rodgers is good for a dirted Devontae Adams play. Where so they hike the ball and Devontae runs a little quick. He's at the line of scrimmage, snaps, runs a yard, and cuts to the left. And then a ball skips across his feet. And Aaron will then look at the sideline like, and by the way, who is he looking at? When Aaron does that, every time there's a piss poor pass, he just looks at the sideline with a look like what's going on there? What's a deeper story there? Like, it's like Aaron is blaming everybody else for all these issues. Like, again, bringing up, as Jared B said, the wind. The wind. Brought up the wind. He said, hey, man, the wind was a little inconsistent. I don't want to blame the wind, but, I've played a wind before. But then why bring up wind? If it's not a factor, why would you bring it up? That sounds like excuse making. But I digress. It's just not annoying. It just is annoying, excuse me, that it seems like there is a reason. Every time there's a bad pass, it's not because Aaron Rodgers just threw a bad pass. He looks frustrated and everything, but he's like looking frustrated like if the receiver ran the wrong route or the call coming in was somehow, like, it's just bizarre. It's completely bizarre. I don't understand who else would be to blame but Aaron Rodgers. This is his ship. The offense is his. Todd Downing has given him complete control of the line of scrimmage to do whatever the hell he wants. And maybe the only difference is the scripted plays, the first 10 or 15, that's worked on in practice. But once you get past the top 10 or 15, it's the Aaron Rodgers show for the rest of the game. So why is he looking at the sideline like, geez, oh gosh, what happened on that one? I'm confused, absolutely befuddled. And again, I said this before. If the Jets are going to bench Aaron Rodgers, they're not. Obviously, they've made that clear. But if they were going to, you might as well cut him because, like, Aaron Rodgers on the bench, a healthy bench scratch, I don't know how that rolls in the locker room. So you probably would have had to cut him midseason, to be honest. I'm not sure how he would have handled just being on the bench, and it's Tyrod Taylor time. So, now they're going to stick with him, not just for this Dolphins game, but moving forward, and we'll see what we get from Aaron Rodgers. But my problem is this, and this is why I say you should have made a move. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't right coming out of the bye, my question is, when will he be right? When? What suddenly? Molon, that's exactly it. 5 more weeks of this crying. Yeah. I don't understand what's going to change. If he just had as much rest as he could possibly have, that would have meant that performance against Seattle was the top of what we're going to get. That's what it would mean in theory of what it could be. Right there in that moment, say, oh, okay, Aaron looked great coming out of the body, throws it, even if it's not the 300 yards, he just looks awesome. 85% completion percentage, 75% completion percentage. Oh, there's Aaron Rodgers. Okay, booyah. Okay, here we go. And then maybe it will incrementally go down from there, but at least it started here. But we're starting down here, and then it's going to get worse. I don't suddenly, what random fountain of youth is going to happen for Aaron Rodgers during these 5 games? That's what I'm confused by, and why I say, oh boy, if it's not great now coming out of the bye, when is it going to be great? So, yeah. My holy king, that's sad. Tyrod can't play 1 game. Yeah, outside of injury, he will not. Johnny Boy, we must be better as an organization. We must get rid of the stank of the losing culture. And it is a stank, man. 9 straight losing seasons. 13 of the last 14 seasons have been losing seasons. Outside of the 10-6 year, where we were flirted with like, ooh, and then nothing. So my holy king says the Jets are playing to lose, which again is to the tanking crowd of currently they have the let me get our tankathon update here, make sure I'm giving you guys proper info. The Jets currently sit at 6th overall in the draft, 6th overall, thanks to the strength of schedule tiebreakers, which puts them above Tennessee and Cleveland. So they are the second of the 3-9 teams. So they lose the strength of schedule to Carolina. They pick 5th, and then the Patriots are 3-10. And boy, some of these teams flirted with wins. Jacksonville flirted with a win. Raiders flirted with a win. Patriots shoulda, coulda, woulda won. They had a touchdown lead with 13 seconds to go. So, there's some ops. There's some ops there to be had. Our boy Danny in real life, our Buffalo Bills division AFC East champ, chimes in on Twitter. Tyrod Taylor led Bills to playoffs with less talent at skill positions the Jets currently have. Aaron Rodgers is and always has been the problem. Yeah. And a lot of Packers people tried to tell me it immediately, but I wouldn't listen. And I have nothing else to say but eat humble pie for that. That's true. Our number 1 Austrian Jet fan has just gifted a membership, baby. You love to see it. Which leads me to a very special announcement. And thank you to our number one Austrian Jet fan for getting this party started. By the way, Phil M. We have a lot of Phils in our community. We just added another one. Phil M., you're now a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, our YouTube membership group. But I have a very exciting announcement to make. Our number one Austrian Jets fan was just gifted an emoji, of course, for his dedication to the show. And normally each month we pick a special individual to be honored. And then we say, hey, if we get a certain amount of memberships, that person will get an emoji. But we're going to be doing something different this month. Folks, we're introducing the Boy Green Emoji Contest, which will be going on this entire month. And here's how it works, folks. There are two wonderful things you guys would love to be a part of. You guys can buy, so this is all about Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, which, by the way, are $2.99 a month. You can purchase your own Boy Green Coffee Club membership. If you go to the pinned comment on YouTube right now, it's youtube.com/boygreen25. Click that. It's $2.99 a month. You can sign up to be a Boy Green Coffee Club member. Or you can gift memberships. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a little money sign. You click that. It's the final option. It says gift channel memberships. Here are the rules of the contest, baby. And it says it right there on the scrolling ticker as well. Here is our Boy Green emoji contest. For every membership you gift, every single membership you gift, you are entered into the contest. Whoever has the most gifted memberships at the end of the month will be awarded an emoji. It will be a custom emoji created by Snowball, which will be awesome. For every 5 memberships you gift, like you give 5 at a time, that's the best way to do it. You gift a 5-pack, you will get a raffle ticket to our Jet Surprise giveaway. And I'll tell you some of the items that we have in this Jet Surprise giveaway. Jets hats, autographed Jets items, Jets t-shirts, Jets custom items, and some surprises from my personal Jets collection. That is all happening this month. So again, there are 2 ways that you can enter all of this action. If you want to fight for the custom emoji, you just gift memberships. You can gift as many as you'd like at a time. 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, 25, 50, as many as you'd like. And whoever has the most gifted memberships, I'll be keeping track of it, at the end of the month, will earn themselves their own emoji. And even if you have an emoji on this channel, you can earn a brand new emoji. Okay. And for this, the Jets raffle contest, again, every 5 memberships you gift, you will get a raffle ticket to our Jets surprise giveaway. It's the holiday season, and it'll be pretty cool. I see that Phil says, I have an iPhone. You guys should be able to utilize a few different aspects, get jump over on an iPad, or perhaps you can do a computer or laptop, or I would even accept this for people that can't enter in this way. If you'd like, you can Venmo or PayPal me, and we can enter it through that way, Phil. So for anyone that has struggles or has an iPhone, I have an iPhone too, and can't, you can PayPal or Venmo me, and we could gift memberships in that form or fashion, so we can make that work. So feel free, Phil, or anyone else, to do that if you have a phone problem. And it's easy. My PayPal and Venmo are at BoyGreen25. BOY, green the color, 25. So feel free to do it, baby. So whether you're on Android, iPhone, doesn't matter. You can PayPal or Venmo. Again, it is at BoyGreen25. BOY, green the color, 25. Just make sure in the description of your payment that you send, you're like, hey, Paul, this is for the emoji contest. Here's 5 memberships or what have you. And again, they're $2.99 each for the YouTube membership, so you can include that as part of your giveaway to send in. So feel free. And there's Ellie, too. You guys can use that, too. I'll have to double-check whether that's my email or at BoyGreen25 to be able to figure out all that. But either way, folks, this is an exciting contest. Awesome. And really excited for all of you guys. So this is really, 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 really cool. Terrence Hill said this, how about if you already have an emoji, you win, you get to choose who gets an X emoji. I'm totally cool with that. You can utilize that honor as well, Terrence, because you are someone, of course, who already has an emoji. But if you'd like to hand select and pick who it is, that is totally acceptable as well. So, Terrence, yes, whoever wins the contest will have the power to grant themselves an emoji or hand pick who receives that emoji. Again, this will be going on all month. And for some of the memberships we already received this month, I've counted that towards them. So, number one Austrian Jet fan, you gifted memberships yesterday. FL Phil 98, you gifted memberships this month. That all puts you in the contest. So, each have a raffle ticket from that standpoint. So, we really want to honor the fans, and this is a cool way to do it. So, shout out to the nearly 500 people in the room. So, I will be keeping track of that. Austrian, I just added your latest membership to that pile, and hopefully we can have a lot of fun to figure that out. Phil said, no Venmo or PayPal. I'm old school. I will figure out a way. Okay. A pigeon carrier or smoke signal, mail, any one of those fashions. You guys can figure it out and try to get it done. But we will work through that with it. And yes, this is Alan, who is a popular guy. He can make sure he goes through and gets punches in his own emoji. Feel free to do that. So great idea, everybody, and I'm looking forward to this contest, which again will be running throughout the entire month. Beautiful. And Terrence says he has plenty of great ideas coming. Can't wait to spill them. So yeah, keep it coming, baby. So the contest will be running through this entire month. So keep an eye out for that. Like I said, we'll be keeping track of that throughout. And I'm looking forward to giving back to the fans. So we got some really cool prizes that I'm looking forward to giving away. And like I said, everyone will have a raffle ticket for every 5 memberships you gift. We will put you in the running for that contest. And there's no limit. So if someone wants to buy a gajillion memberships, they can stuff the ballot box and increase their chances of winning some of these awesome prizes, which would be a lot of fun. All right, without further ado, let's do this. We're going to play a quick HEP song, baby, and we'll open up the phone lines to continue this conversation on Aaron Rodgers staying the quarterback. Is he gone? Kane Nguanu in? And so much more right here on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy Green.
Shout out to Hep, baby. He's one of the OGs, and we'll never forget that song, baby. That'll forever be a part of the very fabric that is Boy Green Daily, baby. Like the video, hit subscribe. That's a free way to contribute if you don't have the financial means to get into all these raffle contests and things of that nature. The free way you can support the show is by liking the video and hitting subscribe, which is always appreciated, baby. The phone lines are now open. That's youtube.com/BoyGreen25. If you'd like to call into the program, feel free to do so. Again, that is the pinned comment on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, which we appreciate, Heavy on Jets and Twitter @BoyGreen25, hop on over to YouTube to feel free to call into the show. Let's go to the phone lines right now. We got Johnny Boy here on the program. What's up, Johnny?
BG, what's going on, brother? How you holding up, man?
Well, we're trying here in a 3-9 horrific season to try to, manifest good energy, good vibes.
Myself and Snowball, we underestimated the curse. It is too strong.
Seems that way. Yeah.
We tried, guys. I apologize.
Appreciate the effort.
Yep. But the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, man, that press conference after the game and what he said looked really bad on him, right? Because
for sure. Yeah.
Let's take out the name of Aaron Rodgers and insert blank quarterback. We would be ripping them apart right now and all that. And it's because it's Aaron Rodgers and what he's done in the past or whatever, right? He gets essentially a pass. And I don't think that's right. Like him blaming everybody else when those passes should have been completed, right? That would have never happened with the Leonard Williams touchdown. We're talking about there's still a possibility. Now the games for this season, look, I'm a diehard. Okay, I'm still going to watch them damn games.
Of course.
Regardless of what it is and all that. But at the same time, it would have been fun to still have somewhat of a chance, essentially, to kind of get there to have guys play now, right? So now they're just playing for, essentially, pride.
Basically,
and it needs to happen. Like, so I say that to say this, right? Aaron Rodgers next year. People have been asking, well, do we bring him back? I was one of the guys that was like, yes, I want to bring him back and all that. But that, for me, hearing that press conference, right, him saying that stuff with that smug face and everything, I can't do it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got other players. We got a lot more players that are young, are wanting to do stuff like that, and you say that, and you're supposed to be this leader inside the locker room itself. I mean, what kind of message are you sending to everybody, right? You got the younger cast that are saying it was on me, that was my fault, I did this, I did that, but then you come out as the old veteran and everything and say, the wind blew as you didn't play in Green Bay, where in Green Bay it was nuts. I just, again, it's Jets, bro. Like, honestly, like, how can you not believe in this damn curse that is there? I mean, you get
Yeah.
players that come over here and they just decline, and it's insane, man. And now we're literally talking about, people are. I don't believe in tanking, right? So I don't believe in trying to get losses or whatever, right? Because I just don't. I can't do it. And I want our teams to win. If we're gonna be the team that's gonna, like, hinder other teams from getting in or doing stuff, why the hell not?
Yeah, right.
But all of those stats that Aaron Rodgers has, they're false stats, man. They're yak stats from all of the other players that we got. So, um, I don't know, bro. It's gonna be tough, man. I wanted to call it yesterday, but I was so broken from that damn game. I was like, I'm done.
Well,
So
this makes me feel worse. If you're done now, right? So the Jets have the Dolphins this week, and I was just double checking the series history. The Dolphins won 13 of the last 16 games against the Jets, and they've been smacking us around. And now that's the next game up. Mike, and specifically, so that's just like a history one since like 2016 ish. But like Mike McDaniel has owned our ass. Man, I don't feel good at all heading into this Dolphins game now. And Aaron, if Aaron looked how he looked then, I think he's only going to look worse as time goes by because he's not going to get that red. So,
be,
God, I want to see these players making plays though, because Garrett Wilson shoulda, coulda, woulda had that touchdown and other big plays. I really
exactly.
want to see them continuing to make things happen.
And BG, and the last thing too,
Yeah.
right? The Ulbrich press conference yesterday, right? When he essentially is alluding to Aaron Rodgers has been playing hurt, quote unquote,
Right.
right? He's been battling injuries or whatever. If that is the
Supposedly.
case,
Yeah.
right? Why in the hell don't you go ahead and put in the other guy? It's more about the team, not the damn player, man. It's about that logo that you have on top of your hat right now, and not the nameplate on the back of the jersey. Like,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that I'm saying. Like, I just don't understand. This organization needs to take a hard look, as he says, right, at themselves, bring in the guys and tear that entire coaching staff
Yeah.
apart,
Carve
man,
it out. Absolutely.
and bring everything brand new. We need the stench of this losing culture to get rid of it from
Mhm.
that damn facility, man, because it just sucks year after year after year after. I mean, you got a brand new son. I got a son. Like, I want them to enjoy football. I want my daughter to enjoy football
Yeah.
and stuff like that. They got no choice though. So
Yeah, no,
put that out there.
obviously. Yeah. Just this is not, yeah, and I want to make that very clear. The recent Jets losing it's not a get out of jail free card. You're assigned this till death. It is what it is. It's part of the paperwork. It's part of birth. So yeah, they are Jet fans until nothing. Absolutely.
But BG, I appreciate you, man. Keep doing your content. Everybody, man, hey, sign up memberships. It is dope. The damn Discord is always on and
Oh
popping
yeah.
and everything like that. I throw in some crazy wild ideas that I think the only person that likes it is Jared B. But so I appreciate you, Jared. Other than that, hey, BG, peace.
Yeah, I appreciate you. We'll keep trudging along. But no, to Johnny's point there, you see this Jets team, and the question is, do they have pride? Do they have dignity? Are they going to fight? Are they going to show some chutzpah? Because the Dolphins have fleeting playoff hopes. The Jets have clinched another losing season. They're not officially eliminated from the playoffs. That'll happen this weekend potentially, but man, we want to see them fight. Let's go to J-Boy here. Every time I get a YouTube super chat here on the channel, we hear from my daughters, right, Luna?
Wow.
3-14 should be 0-17. This team doesn't deserve 3 W's. Perhaps not. The Jets have had, when I look at the Jets schedule, when I take a gander back at it and see, this schedule could easily be perceived in a different way. Because, so the 49ers get blown out. There's nothing you can do about that. But obviously Denver, 1-score game. Missed field goal by Greg Zuerlein, would have won that game. Minnesota, Aaron Rodgers had the ball in his hands to win that game. You lose that. And, of course, obviously, the stupid pick six he threw to Van Ginkel, which changes the game. Buffalo, 2 missed Greg Zuerlein kicks. You lose by 3, 23-20. Pittsburgh, we had the 15-6 lead. Aaron throws a stupid interception when he had other players open. Totally flummoxed. Jets don't recover. They lose. You lose by field goal to New England. Also a missed kick from Greg Zuerlein. Houston, you win. That's like sort of hard to believe how that happened. Arizona blows your barn doors off. That one wasn't close. Indianapolis, 1-point game. You find a way to lose. Seattle, 5-point game that you definitely lost. I mean, they're 3-9 right now. But boy, it doesn't take much to say, wow, they could have been this, they could have been this, they could have been this. And obviously, we'd be having a much different conversation right now about the tone of this season. But obviously, we're not. So, I candidly look at this guy, and I'm an optimistic guy. Okay. Every time we get to game day, I'm like, okay, Jets, baby, which maybe I'll do once again. I don't know. Like right now, I don't feel like I'm picking the Jets for the first time this season. I feel like I'm going Miami. But, maybe when we get to the game, I'll feel differently here. But Jacksonville looks like the only one on the schedule, man. At Buffalo, that ain't happening. You've been dominated by the Dolphins. You got 2 against them. The Rams are fighting in the NFC West. Jacksonville, maybe, and with Trevor Lawrence, we don't know his status or what it will be. The Jets have a back-to-back Florida trip for our Florida listeners, which we'll get to here in just a moment. But, boy, it looks rough. Which, again, some people will be rooting for the tank. But, some of this is looking pretty rough. Pretty rough indeed. Mr. McMoney says the Jags will smoke us in 2 weeks, and if that's true, then every Jet fan for number 1 pick odds, the Jets could have anywhere from the number 1 pick to like the 13th overall pick. It'll probably be top 10, probably based on where they're at, but you get the point. Unbelievable. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. We've got NY Jets FL here next on the show. What's up, pal?
Hey, Paul. Good morning. Look at the Denver Broncos, Paul. That could be our blueprint if we can get the right coach and draft the right quarterback. And I know Sean Payton's the Hall of Fame coach.
Sure.
But if you get the right guy, I'm not saying Bo Nix is a superstar, but you really don't need, with a decent defense, and I know they let up a lot of points against Cleveland, with a decent defense, and you have a great coach like Payton, and you have a really good DC there, quite honestly, who didn't make it as a head coach, you can win a lot of games. They should have probably beat Kansas City. I mean, they should have beat Kansas City.
For sure.
Go ahead, Paul.
No. I think we have a little bit of a delay, but no, they absolutely should have beaten. They should have absolutely beaten Kansas City. There's no question about it.
Yep. That's the blueprint I look at, Paul. And Ulbricht's comments about Rodgers, if they benched him, which I advocated, games ago, more of an embarrassment on the franchise. I don't think at this point they could do it just for the embarrassment factor. But I hate it reminds me of the commentary of Saleh with Zach, right? Saying, "Oh, he gives us the best chance to win," or whatever. Mm-hmm. No. It's a bull-faced lie. And just like Zach was, I don't know if Saleh's strings were pulled or what to keep starting Zach. I just never got that whole thing when you knew, obviously, at some point you had to make the move to bench him. That's the most disgusting thing that I have to hear day after day. Day after day we hear the same thing, which sounds like the same coddling of the players which is the stinking culture that we have. And Johnny completely right. The culture, blow it all up. I mean, get somebody of competency in here, like a Sean Payton type, who commands respect, who has experience, who knows a winning culture. And like you said, Will McClay, get a guy who knows how to draft. You can get him from Green Bay, you can get him from Dallas, you can get him from Detroit. Although I'm not sure if some of those people are going to want to come here, but you never know till you knock on the door.
That's for sure. And again, it's crazy to say that Aaron Rodgers doesn't give you the best chance to win, but man, with all the missed passes, I think Tyrod Taylor would put us in a better position to be winning games and getting the ball in the guy's hands. I have no fallacy that Tyrod Taylor is, man, we put him in, he's going to be in the MVP race. That's not what I'm saying, but he can get ball from point A to point B. It's not always sexy, but Tyrod Taylor can do that. And you think of the talent of this offense, I think that Tyrod Taylor would give us a better chance to win.
I do too. That five games ago too. On top of it, and Rodgers was struggling, and you could see it, Paul. I mean, you could see the inaccuracy, the frustration of Rodgers, and he's playing hurt. He doesn't want to get hit, and that's not a way to play NFL. Well, I lost you. Sorry, Paul. That's not any way to play NFL quarterback or any position. You can't play in fear, And if Rodgers is hiding, Paul, what do you think about him hiding the theory that he's hiding injuries? I mean, come on. What is this, like Brett Favre now? Does he have that? Does he command that much power that he can't be? That we can't even look at his physicality and judge if he's capable of playing. He can do that to a team.
And by the way, to be honest, do we need to see the medical scans? This guy's 41. He looks 41. He's missing passes. His statistics are in the shitter. Ulbrich admits, injuries are affecting him. Then why the hell is he continuing to play? If the injuries are affecting him, then you owe it to yourself as the coach of the football team, the head coach, to say, hey, we got to make a business decision here, pal. You're hurt or not playing well enough, whichever card he wants to pull. And that's his job as the head coach.
Unless he's being told what to do, which seems like Woody. Maybe Woody's, Woody doesn't want the. You think an 80-year-old guy wants the embarrassment of that? This is like compounded now. He fired Saleh. It got worse. Rodgers looks horrendous. We're laughing stock. Even though I don't listen to the media, I don't listen to any regular media, so I don't let that stuff bother me too much. But at least we got college football, Paul. We got some amazing games on Saturday that we can look forward to and see if we can draft some of these players. There's a couple of guys from Michigan. One's a corner and one's a DT. They got
Will Johnson, Mason Graham. Amen.
Oh, if you put Mason Graham next to Quinnen, you can pretty much lock down. And that's one thing. I would rather punt on a quarterback and then draft a DT to stop the run, and build up the lines a little bit. That's
especially since people say the quarterback class is going to be even better in 2026. So you can wait and get the better player now and then put yourself, in theory, in a great position the following year to be right in the thick of the quarterback race. Why not? Sure.
Exactly, Paul. That's about all I got, Paul. I appreciate your I didn't call in after the game, but what is it? What is there to say? It's a repeat of the game of all the other games. I mean, what are we going to do? It's the same points. I'll have to say this though. Ola's look great. So I gotta say,
looks awesome.
That draft pick was completely solid, and he doesn't have the shitty attitude of Becton to go with it. Ola's a good kid on top of it, so he's gonna be a stud. So at least we got that one right.
Damn straight.
Have a great day, Paul.
All right, appreciate you, NY Jets FL. And yes, as Alan said here, no UK ambassadorship for Woody. Guess he's stuck with this mess. Yeah, Trump picked somebody else, so I don't know if there's I guess there is. There's always another position, so we'll see what that means. Will there be some statement from Woody, hey, I'm sticking around here? Is there some other mythical position across the pond that he's going to? I don't know. One nugget I wanted to give real quick is, speaking of Alan, right? He's been, Ben Johnson's going to Bears. Peter Schrager, our guy from Good Morning Football and NFL Network and NFL on Fox, the Chicago Bears do not, according to Peter Schrager's reporting, do not want to hire some quote-unquote hot coordinator, apparently. So Ben Johnson will be eliminated from the Chicago Bears, which means, again, Ben Johnson's in my top 3. If there's no Ben Johnson to Chicago, perhaps the Jets will tickle the fancy of one Ben Johnson. Perhaps. Potentially something to keep an eye out for. So Peter Schrager says the Bears will not be looking for some hot coordinator this time around. Instead, we'll be looking at guys like Marcus Freeman, the Notre Dame head coach. There's some weird names the Bears are apparently circling around. So keep an eye out for that one, baby. All right. Let's go to our next call. We got Easy here on the show. What's up, Easy?
How you doing, man?
Well, it's been a wild up and down show so far, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I had my thing yesterday, and a funny thought ran through my head. Could you imagine getting a colonoscopy on Halloween, and all of a sudden the doctors are dressed in alien masks?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good point. How did that go, by the way? Is that all good in the hood?
I'm good. Yeah, thank God. I actually had a lot of back pain, so I was like concerned that it might be something serious. But knock on wood, I'm all right.
All right, blessed be He. I'm glad. We're all happy for you, man.
Thank you, and thank everyone who wished me well and all that stuff. That's really cool.
Of course.
So I had a couple of thoughts.
Sure.
They flew out of my friggin' head, but I did have a couple of thoughts. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if you think back in retrospect through this entire season,
sure,
he has been missing open receivers all year long.
Absolutely.
I mean, just flat out missing guys. And then he'll glare at them like they screwed up.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, you're 40 years old and you just lost it. And it kind of equates to when someone starts getting Alzheimer's and they start getting all angry and cranky because they know that they're diminishing and it's just pissing them off.
Yeah, because he's angrily looking at the players on mid throw. He's so angrily looking at the sideline. I don't know who he's looking for or what he's looking at, but yeah, there's just been a lot of deflection of blame. It seems.
I think he's just looking to get his mojo back.
No,
you know, after a certain time gone. And the other thing, here's what I want to say about Jeff Ulbrich.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
He is literally. Forget the wins and losses right now. Forget that.
Okay. Sure.
Because the team's fried. Everyone, the locker room's gone. Everyone's gone. Everyone's just like trying to play out the season, not get completely hurt, and not look like dog shit so that they still have a reputation as a player in the NFL. Jeff Ulbrich is basically, as an interim, is auditioning for a head coaching job or to stay with the Jets.
Right.
But my thing is, he's not making the fucking executive decisions. Who in the hell is going to hire him if he's going to be intimidated by a 41-year-old quarterback and not benching the guy who's clearly not playing well? This is what he's a head coach for. You got to drop that interim word and just forget all that stuff and be the coach and do what's necessary to make the team better. That's your job. And if he's going to play scared, then nobody's going to hire him as a head coach ever. I mean, does this make any sense to you?
Sure. Yeah.
Now he's got to make that decision.
Yeah. Some coaches that get the interim tag never become a head coach ever again. So he should, if I was him, I'd be living like this is my only opportunity I'll ever get and show some chutzpah while doing it, not just cruise control coasting through it because we're just getting the same bullshit answers with every presser. We'll take a deep dive into this. We'll take a hard look at that. It's just a lot of bullshit. Yeah.
No, it's just coach talk. Actually, it's bad coach talk.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, we know what we have in Tyrod Taylor. I love Tyrod. He's a good player, but we know what he is. So putting him in and risking him getting hurt because he's going to be our backup next year,
I guess that's
think
true.
Is the smart move. I think we put in Adrian Martinez. He's a kid.
Sure.
He's had some success in professional ball. Put him in there. Now that the O-line is a little bit better, he's mobile. He's scrappy. He's young. And even if we decide not, and if he plays halfway decent, even if we decide not to keep him, he's really good trade bait to someone who really needs a younger, slightly experienced backup.
Well,
You have
how
to give
so?
a shot.
Riddle me this, because the Giants ran into some drama when they did this. When they went away from Daniel Jones, they didn't go to QB2 Drew Lock. They went to QB3, and that caused some drama with Drew Lock. What do you tell Tyrod Taylor if you skip over him and go to Adrian Martinez, who, by the way, is on the practice squad? He's not even on the 53-man roster. Hey, pal, you're staying in the back. We're actually going to this guy. How do you explain that to Tyrod?
You tell Tyrod, you're our quarterback next year. You are our starting quarterback next year. We don't want you hurt. We want
But
you
why
to
would he believe them? Like, Jeff Ulbricht's not going to be there. It's going to be a brand new coaching staff. Why would, if I'm Tyrod, why would I listen to their words? I'm like, you're not even going to be here next year. How can you promise me that I'm going to be the guy? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, the way I look at it is you tell Tyrod, I'm starting the kid, and I want you to coach him up because you're going to be here. This kid may not be. We may keep him back as a backup to you next year because I think we're going to draft players, not quarterbacks, next year, or we'll trade back to get trade bait. This is the other thing. If we get a high enough draft pick and we trade back to get maybe 2 or 3 first rounders for next year's draft, then even if we have a 50-50 500 season or better, we'll still be able to trade up to get a better quarterback.
That could be more ammunition,
year,
sure, I guess.
Next year's going to be, let's face it, we're not going to make the playoffs next year unless we hire a coach who can strike lightning. I mean,
which sometimes happens. I mean, we've had a lot of great first-year head coaches: Herm Edwards, Eric Mangini. We've had guys make magic happen. Yeah.
I mean, I want Rex, and there's a reason I want Rex. Rex will turn it around. I don't know if Rex will be long-term. I mean, like a 7-8 year coach, but for 2-3 years with this talent, Rex can turn it around. He's done it before. He's proven he can do it. And that's the thing. He's proven he can do it with existing players on his team. I mean, he brought in Bart Scott. He brought in Jim Leonard, to add some brains to the defense. But if you think he's going to let people continue to stay out in the field that are screwing up left and right, losing their positions, not containing the edge, missing tackles, that ain't going to happen under Rex. And even if we don't make the playoffs next year, Rex will at least give us 8-9 wins.
I think he's at least getting an interview. Rex Ryan is. I think that's that's happening.
An interview.
Yeah, I think so.
And he can tell Woody. Not? He can also tell Woody, look, I told you the last time when you had talent and no coach, I could take this team far into the playoffs, and I did. And I'm telling you the same thing now. This is not where Idzik has already traded away or pissed off all of my players and made them leave. There is a good core on this squad of high-quality players that, if coached up properly, and Rex has the credentials. I mean, when he was the defensive coordinator in Baltimore, I mean, like 3-4 years in a row, he had number 1 to number 3 defense in the league every single year. And then when he came to the Jets, number 1 to number 3 defense just about every year he was there, except maybe the 4th year.
Yeah, I would just say if I'm Woody, I am interviewing as many people as possible. Pick all their brains, because that's what happens in this interview process. You come in and you say, hey, Rex Ryan, hey, EC, hey, Taylor Sterling, hey, whoever you are, what's your plan to fix the Jets? And they lay it on the table. And even if you don't hire the guy, you could say, ooh, that's actually a good idea. I'm going to write that one down. Okay, good. All right, that's interesting. Like information gathering. Say that again?
Do you think he interviews Greenbean for GM?
Why not? Sure.
Did you read Greenbean's letter?
I have not read. Someone sent me something from Greenbean, but I didn't see a letter.
Okay. Greenbean wrote a letter to Woody Johnson.
Sure.
And he explained all of his experience in team building and running for, major companies, because, Greenbean's into the mental health and rehabilitation world.
Of course. He's got a great story, of course.
Because he self-admittedly was a psychopath and a drug addict and all that. So, but he said he's had to do team building. He's not afraid to hire and fire, especially fire people that aren't getting it done. He's done the administrative. He's done the money side of it because he's been directors of companies and all this other stuff. And he says it's all about team building. And team building equates from the private sector to the NFL. If you're a good team builder and you know value and you know how to pick people, and if you look at Greenbean's picks over the past few years, He's been spot on.
Hey, let's see. He's a big Kenny Yeboah guy. We all love Kenny Yeboah, so that's for sure. So yeah, let's get Green Bean some action. Sure. Again, Green Bean, Rex, everybody. I'm willing to interview as many people as possible because they should vet the entire process. They should turn over every stone. I'm all about it. I think you can only gain more information by talking to as many people as possible, hearing their plans, and hopefully you hear enough really good plans. You hire the right guy that's going to come in here and help fix it around. Now, the only thing I will say before we go back to the phone lines is I don't believe anyone's going to be trading for Adrian Martinez. As Alan says, who the hell's trading for Adrian Martinez? He's currently could be signed at any point right now. He's been on the practice squad all year. So I don't know if anyone's trading for him, even if he was brought onto the team and doing very well. I just don't know if that's going to happen. But I appreciate EZ's takes. He always provides creativity, which is something I can respect and appreciate here on the channel. I love passion. We got nearly 600 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, baby. And again, our Boy Green contest, which again, for every 5 memberships you gift, you'll be entered in for some raffle tickets for Jets giveaways, baby. Autograph merch, all kinds of great, awesome stuff here at the Boy Green household, the stronghold of stuff from my personal collection that will be given away to give back to the fans during the holiday season. So, folks, feel free to get involved with that. Let's go back to the phone lines. You got our boy Ricky New York live here on the show. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Hey, not too shabby.
Yeah. Have things really gotten that bad that now we're floating content creators as GM candidates?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow. At any rate, I don't even know what to say about this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. You know, the wind blew on the other team too, so I definitely don't want to hear that. I think that's something that's just kind of carried over from the Saleh regime, is the excuse making. Like, I hate it when coaches say like the best player is going to play, because I just don't feel like that's what's going on right now. Now, that being said, you know how the media tends to do. Like, I did hear a clip from Rodgers' interview where he said, I have to hit Garrett on that pass. You know, so even if he was deflecting in other areas, at least he did cop to that, which he's right. Like, I mean, watching the breakdown of it, like, you could have underthrown it and it would have been okay, but to overthrow him and oh my God, he was so wide open. And then there was another one on a go route down the left sideline where he was wide open too. And like, I mean, dude, 170, 180 yards passing, you know, throwing pick sixes, dirting balls, missing wide open guys. This is the Zach Wilson discussion.
Yeah.
Like, why are we having the Zach Wilson discussion about Aaron Rodgers? It's just mind-boggling to me. It's, you know, I'm kind of in the boat with you. Like, I mean, now I do want to say this as far as draft picks, ammo, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Having a better draft pick should only be the silver lining if you do lose. It should never be the goal.
Right.
And
that's how I look at it. Yep.
That's you know, that's I get irritated with fans who just want to tank. Dude, I want to win games. You know, and then you can look at it as like, hey, if we lose, that just makes our draft pick better. But I don't know. That's just me. I can't go into anything, you know, hoping to lose or anticipating losing. That's just not in me.
Yeah, I got arguments on Twitter. So during the game, I was like, woo, great touchdown or something, like the kick return touchdown. I was like excited, jumping out of my seat. I had a few fans telling me, Paul, shut up. We're trying to lose. Like, this is terrible. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? To me, it's exactly what you say. I root as hard as I can because I can't control it, despite what I'd like to think. I don't have that kind of power.
Exactly.
You know, my yelling or screaming about great plays isn't going to affect whether the team's going to win or lose or not. But if they happen to lose, I'm like, well, okay, the draft pick's better. But like me, if I was rooting for them to lose the entire time and they win, I get nothing. I don't understand that mindset. So yeah, that's a struggle.
Yeah, I I definitely I don't understand it either, and it's just it's crazy that we're it's even come to this.
Mhm.
However, and my goodness, the other thing I was going to say is even though Rodgers did look healthier, he did look a little bit more mobile.
For sure.
Dude, I don't want to see a 40-something-year-old running for his life on like a third of the snaps. Like Carter Warren looked not good when he came into the game. But why is it that with these wide receivers and some of the speed that we have on the team between Brees, Garrett, nobody can track down a Leonard Williams the whole length of the field?
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Leonard even said himself, he's like, I'm surprised no one caught me. Because, again, this is a 92-yard pick six. Where's Garrett? Where's Brees? Where's anyone else on the team that could have chased down this fat bastard, for God's sakes?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when I was watching the game, I watched the first half at the sports bar around the corner from the house.
Sure.
The weirdest thing, there was a table next to me, probably 10 adults and 4 kids they weren't rooting for the Seahawks. They were rooting against Aaron Rodgers. Like, oh, he's going to throw a pick. Oh, watch it. Hit him. Like every play.
What the hell?
Dude, it was weird. It was weird. I was like, and I get that the guy gets a lot of hate, but just to see it in that context where like the teams were inconsequential, it's just, we want that guy to do bad,
what a sicko.
Yeah. Cheering for him to get hit and to throw picks like every single play. And yeah, it was odd. And, the good thing is he actually played really well while those douchebags were there. And, then after halftime, when they were gone, he started doing everything they wanted him to do. But they weren't there to see it. So,
that's good. That makes me feel a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit anyway. But, man, I don't know. I'm looking at, we maybe win 2 games the rest of the year. Yeah, I think we will.
I don't know.
I think we will beat Jacksonville because Jacksonville is just really that bad.
Okay.
And I think we split with Miami because Miami, Miami's not all they're cracked up to be. And I just don't know. All I know is that again, it comes down to coaching, lack of discipline. I mean, I really honestly thought that there was hope in that game, but then that last drive happened and it's like 5-yard penalty. And then it's like 4th and 6 and all of a sudden, oh, nope. Now it's 4th and 1. Mm-hmm. And then there's back-to-back 15-yard penalties. And so it was 5 yards, 15, and then 5. And I'm like, that's 40 yards. I mean, that's enough penalties to put them in field goal range right there. We're going to lose this damn game by 1 point or something. Mm-hmm. And I was livid. I was pissed. And then even when they scored the touchdown, there was a penalty on that too, but they said offsetting. Like it was ridiculous. So 5 penalties in one drive, like seriously, that's just, you got to put that on the coach. And yeah, things have not gotten better since we got rid of Saleh. It's actually gotten worse. And you know what? If this is your audition for the rest of the league and this is your opportunity to put your best foot forward, your best foot ain't looking so freaking good, Brick. That's all I got to say, man. This has been a pathetic performance. And it's just tough to take, man, with all the talent that's on this team to watch them perform the way they have is just incredibly disappointing.
For sure. Ricky, before you go, is there any insults or anything you'd like to throw at Alan's way? I want to make sure I give you a platform to be able to do that.
Yeah, you know what? Not really. I mean, I usually say something, my Alan comments are usually in response to something that he'll say or do.
Oh, okay. Not
and
just his existence. Okay. All right.
yeah, and so the one thing I'll say is like
Oh.
everybody says like Allen knows what he said. Well, no, Allen's the same guy that said Aaron Rodgers will never come here, Tyron Smith will never come here. He's not always right. And same thing like Easy was saying, like, oh, look at Green Bean's hit. Like, wait a minute. Green Bean was the guy who said that Peter Skoronski was the can't miss.
I thought that too. So that's
I remember all this stuff, which, you know what? Skoronski was a really good technical prospect, but the arm length worried me right away. And look what happened. He slid into and he's playing guard and probably better suited there.
Probably.
So I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad football player at all, but we needed a tackle.
For sure.
So at any rate, man, the only thing I can say is, I mean, I've gone back and forth with people about the two Michigan players, which the other day I was really excited. I'm like, oh, Michigan, Ohio State, I can kill three prospects in one sitting.
Yeah, there you go.
And do the two Michigan guys and Tyleik Williams from Ohio State, which that's my guy. That's Green Bean's guy as far as defensive tackles. He's by far the best run stuffer in the entire country. And that's just what we need, I think. But at any rate, yeah, Will Johnson didn't play in that. But, dude, with DJ Reed and Eccles both leaving and, Stiggers apparently maybe not being quite ready to step into a starting role yet, I would think that Will Johnson would have to be our pick. And why not? Who's to say our next coaching staff isn't going to want to play man all the time? And he's a better fit. Worst case, best case scenario, Sauce plays real good alongside him. We got the best cornerback duo in the entire league, and Sauce can rehab some value, and maybe we trade him off afterward. And or if not, but that's the thing too, is people always bitch that Sauce doesn't follow number one receivers. Have you seen Sauce try to jam a guy at the line? Like, dude,
No.
Man on mano a mano is not his strong suit. Careful what you wish for. We all, there's so many glaring, obvious things wrong with this team that it makes all of us feel like we know better sitting here at home. But, and while there are some very obvious things that any of us would do, like pulling the quarterback at this point, say what you want about Tyrod Taylor. You know what is true about Tyrod Taylor? He's still got a nice deep ball.
For sure.
Can throw a beautiful deep ball. And what are we not doing right now? Throwing the ball down the field.
It's true.
I think our only hope of seeing Tyrod is if Aaron takes a hit or gets banged up to where he hobbles off the field and, it's taken out of his hands. I think as long as it's in his hands, we're going to continue to see this. Unless it's taken out of his hands, I think this is pretty much what it's going to look like the rest of the year.
I think you're right, Ricky. I think outside of injury, we're not seeing any Tyrod Taylor action. That's for sure. Quick question. Lucas says, Paul, has there been a list of release coaches who are going to be interviewed? That's much too early. Again, you might get the Rex Ryan who could be interviewed right now, or people, John Gruden's, anyone outside the NFL could be interviewed right now, but no. You're not going to get that till after the season, once the season is complete, Lucas. So keep an eye out for that. All right, speaking of, let's go to our guy Alan here, and I'm curious, Alan, I'm sure you have a lot to say. You always do. But the Peter Schrager report that the Bears will not be interested in some hot coordinator, cough, Ben Johnson, and instead their dark horse target is Marcus Freeman, the head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, huh?
If the Bears do not hire Ben Johnson, then they are the dumbest organization in the world.
Booyah, love it.
You need an offensive mind to mold your quarterback. I don't need Marcus Freeman, who has never won shit at Notre Dame. Win a big game, and then we'll talk. I know they're your team. Win a couple of games in the playoffs, and then we'll talk. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah. All
Couple of comments. First of all, I never said that Aaron Rodgers would never come to the Jets. I thought the Jets were the only viable team at that time. I did say that Tyron Smith wouldn't come here, but I'll tell you one thing. I would not be surprised when that offer was given to the Jets that he didn't call the Cowboys and say, please take me back. I don't
Oh,
want to
like a
come to
Matt
this shit.
situation?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't want to go to this shit show. Okay. Okay, please. And I also read reports that he actually called his reps actually called the Chiefs when that offer was made, and the Chiefs said, "No, thanks. I'll go with a 22-year-old kid. I don't need an old fart who's going to break down." And he didn't even actually break down. He just turned into a piece of crap when he came here.
Yeah, I did not see that. That's one of the most surprising, and there's been a lot of shit that's been surprising this season. One of the most surprising is just Tyron just falling off a cliff, which again, I didn't foresee that. Like Rodgers, I didn't see him just being awful or Tyron just being awful, but shit. I mean, that's been that was a stunning development this year for sure.
This call wasn't to insult Ricky. I mean, Ricky just insults himself when he talks. So my call is about Easy, my good friend
Ooh,
Easy.
okay. Yeah.
Two
Sure.
comments that he made just made me jump out of bed and laugh out loud. Okay. First of all, no one is trading for Adrian Martinez. Okay. I have
Oh.
more trade value than Adrian Martinez. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm an asshole. And people would rather want me just to pester the opponents than watch a garbage quarterback who barely made it in the UFL. No one is going to trade for Adrian Martinez. He has a better chance of being a janitor than being a starting quarterback in this league. Okay. That's point number one.
All right.
Point number two, this is not a great draft. Okay. This might be a 7 to 8 player draft, and everybody after that is just jumbled together. So when he said, "Oh, the Jets could trade back and get multiple first round picks," I nearly fell out of my chair. I'm like, no one is trading multiple first round picks to trade up for any of these players in the top 7, even the 2 quarterbacks. Okay. I could see maybe the Giants maybe moving up from 3 to 1 to get a Cam Ward if the Jaguars are not going to take him if they finish with the worst record. But no one is trading multiple first round picks to move up for anybody in this draft. Okay. I'm trying to be honest. Easy is a very positive guy. Easy is dead wrong on this one. Okay. I just want to stay in the top 6 because to me, I would like one of the 3 defenders, whether it's the 2 kids out of Michigan or it's the edge rusher out of Penn State. I don't want anybody else. And again, I'd rather punt for quarterback in 2026, or if one of the guys who comes here, whether it's the GM or the coach, has an eye for one of the second round talents, maybe it's Dart, maybe it's Aller. Please no Quinn Ewers, he sucks. One of those
I just
guys.
saw Trevor Sikkema just dropped a mock draft for PFF. Now, it's funny how volatile, to your point on quarterbacks, the draft is. Right, in their mock draft they did on the NFL Stock Exchange, Jalen Milroe was the 7th overall pick to the Jets. Were like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. And then this most recent mock draft Trevor just did, the Jets got Jalen Milroe in the 2nd round, like the 40 or something, whatever the projection was. So, like, man, this quarterback class, that pendulum is swinging.
Jalen Milroe is a guy that would need to sit for the entire year. And I'm not taking a guy who needs to sit for the entire year, 7th overall. Okay. He's an erratic thrower of the football. He's had moments of greatness. And then you watch that game in Oklahoma and he was absolute dog shit. So please, no Jalen Milroe. If you like Jalen Milroe, maybe trade up from early 2nd round to late 1st to get the 5th year of the contract. I am not taking Jalen Milroe 7th overall in the draft. That would be asinine. Okay.
And by the way, we just got a comment in here. This is from Adrian. I don't know if it's any relation to Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez won the MVP in the UFL and the UFL MVP in the championship game. So Adrian defending Adrian here. Alan, put some respect on hot trade candidate New York Jets quarterback Adrian Martinez.
Adrian Martinez was a shitty quarterback in Nebraska. He transferred to Kansas State. He was even a shittier quarterback there. Good. He won a UFL champion. He can have his own wing in the UFL Hall of Fame. God bless him.
Beautiful.
Okay. So again, one final comment. Okay.
Yeah.
If the Bears do not hire Ben Johnson and Ben Johnson wants to go there and they hire Marcus Freeman, then you know that organization has absolutely no idea what they're doing. But again, they're the Jets of the Midwest. But Paul Boy Green, it's always a pleasure. And tell Mr. What's his name? Ricky NY.
Yeah.
2-10 season. God bless those Knowles. F all of them. Goodbye.
All right, there he is. There's Alan joining us on the show. I think the interesting thing here in closing, to finish off about all this, is that the head coaching thing is an interesting fickle search. What the top 5 list in Bears land may not be the same top 5. As a matter of fact, we can almost guarantee it won't be the top 5 because everyone values things differently. Some people want offensive coaches. Some people want defensive coaches. Some people want CEO types. Some people want first-year people. Some people want people with experience. So it's fun because beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. So the latest buzz is the Bears. We don't want some hot coordinator. We don't want that kind of thing. We want this. Jets may say, we want this instead of that. It's going to be fascinating to see. But someone who asked about the head coaching list earlier on our Facebook page, again, that's not going to come out to the end of the season because there's all kinds of rules on who you're allowed to interview while they're still in the NFL, and it's more stricter for coaches. You could do Zoom interviews, and then you have to wait to do in-person interviews. Long story short, the process is going to take a long time. The Jets probably won't hire a coach until like early February. That's probably if it's someone who's in the playoffs and things of that nature, that process is really going to drag out. Thank you to the 600 people that are live in the room right now. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, spread the gospel. And again, I don't have a bell or anything, but the Boy Green Emoji Contest has begun. Again, every single membership that's gifted from now through the end of the month and even beyond potentially, which we'll discuss. But every membership you gift will enter you into the contest to win a custom emoji or pick who gets a custom emoji. And every 5 memberships will gift you a raffle ticket to our Jet Surprise giveaway, which includes so many cool stuff. I hope you guys can be a part of that. We'll be back on in a couple of hours because Boy Green Meets Woody will be back at 3 o'clock today. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you. Take